Hey. All right. So we're going to go live on YouTube and Instagram. Got some flower petals. All right. Start it. Say cheese. So let's see. We want to talk about vegan cheese, vegan cheeses. You guys had some questions. Let me see if I can pull the questions up. Hey guys, come on in. We're going to be talking about. Oh, I got the questions. Good. Plant-based cheese, vegan cheese. Go ahead and put your questions in the question mark box. I am on YouTube. I'm trying something different. Streaming on YouTube as well to create some content. But a few people have been asking about cheese. They're like, what kind of vegan cheese should I try? Should I use? And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. So come in and let me know what city you are from, what city you are living in currently. All right. So that's how we're going to start this conversation. Okay. BioLife. I've tried that before. Thank you for the hearts. What city are you living in right now? Toronto, Greensboro, North Carolina. Your city. BioLife is the best. Okay. 2 people for that brand. NYC. Oh, can I like these? I can like those. Let's make a pin. All right, so get comfortable. Share this with a friend that's like, I'm trying to go vegan and I want to know what kind of cheese I should use. Go ahead and tag them. I guess I can't pin anything anymore. So much stuff is happening with the Instagram. All right. Well, I can't seem to pin. Why can't I pin anything? Oh, there we go. Got double tap now. There we go. Houston, NYC. I got a lot of people from New York. Like you guys are leading my Instagram page in New York. Earth Island Slice is good too. I don't think I've heard of them. Okay, so we're going to be talking about vegan cheeses. Last round, tell me where you're from before we get started so I know how late it is where you are, okay? I got a lot of people on the East Coast right now. I'm on the West Coast, so we still got some sun out, thank goodness, 6 o'clock. All right, so let's hop into some of these questions before I even start talking. Oh no. Okay, so one question I got is, what alternatives are there for cheese? All right, so when it comes to plant-based and vegan cheeses, let's separate it into 2, plant-based and vegan, even though they're kind of like one. Let's say whole food plant-based and then vegan cheeses. So you've got, cheeses that are soy-based, cheeses that are nut-based. You got whole food plant-based cheeses like cashew cheese. The Bahamas, Mississippi. Okay. Hey, girl. Dr. Felicia is in the building. Hey, girl. So you got, soy-based cheese. You got nut cheeses. A lot of the vegan cheeses are based with nuts. Okay. So if you have nut allergy, I'm going to go over some ways that you can kind of get around the nut allergies if you have nut allergies for cheeses. Okay. Let me see another question I got. Does it even taste like cheese? It's a good question. Do these vegan cheeses taste like cheese? Now, I want to say, no, they don't taste exactly like cheese that you remember, but it's like what did you don't know what anything tastes like until you kind of like put a taste onto it. You know what I mean? Like if nobody's ever told you what chocolate tastes like, you would not know what chocolate tastes like. So because we've had, cow's milk, goat milk, cheeses, we know what cheese tastes like. But if you go through, I like to say like a detox or a fast of not eating cow's cheese or animal-based cheeses, when you try vegan cheeses, they will taste really, really good. They will taste really good. Okay. So you can't go from like eating super, super, hey, Lexi B, because I'm on YouTube. I'm trying to do YouTube and the Instagram. So you guys bear with me. But hey, girl. So it's one thing, if you're going from eating like, super extra sharp cheese, and then tomorrow you go and try some uh Miyoko's or some BioLife or some diet. Of course, it's going to taste really different. Of course, it's going to taste not the same. Okay. Whenever you want to go into dabbling into vegan cheeses, you need to like stop eating animal products because you'll always be comparing it to one thing. Okay. Like, for example, this is not cheese related, but when I first transitioned to eating vegan food, a guy I was dating, he liked these sausages. It was like, I think they might have been like Gardein sausages, like breakfast sausages. And he was like, here, try one. And I was like, ugh, like it was just ugh, to me, like, this is disgusting. Like, how are you eating this plant-based sausage? Like it's so good. But then when I actually transitioned to going vegan and I stopped eating meat, that sausage was amazing to me. Okay. So you have to stop eating cow milk and goat milk cheeses in order for plant-based cheeses to really like hit something. Okay. You guys have questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat. I was talking about Miyoko's. Somebody says, do they have cheese sticks for toddlers? And I believe they do. I think a lot of these plant-based cheese companies now have cheese sticks. Okay. Somebody said exactly what you guys said. My favorite is BioLife, mature cheddar slices. Now, let me talk about like why I don't talk about cheeses a lot. Um, Most of the time when we're eating cheese, it is not exactly a healthy, like, we're not exactly eating anything healthy when we're adding cheese on top of stuff. You know what I mean? So, this is when the moderation still kicks in. But us as Americans and Canadians, I'm sure, add cheese on a lot of foods, right? Like it's on a lot of food. So it's hard to do moderation with cheese. But when you're in a whole food plant-based side and you dabble into some vegan products, they are in moderation. Just like you shouldn't be eating cheese every single day. I don't care if you aren't lactose intolerant or if you know, um, have no allergies or you're trying to just eat a standard diet. You shouldn't be eating cheese every day. It's not healthy for you. So same thing. When you're vegan or you're plant-based, you don't want to eat cheese every day. And that may sound weird because I know put cheese on sandwiches, put cheese on fries, cheese on burgers, cheese on pizza, cheese on tacos, cheese on everything. All right. So you that's a no-no. We shouldn't be doing that. And then someone says, what brand do I recommend? All right. So I recommend um in the moderation, especially if you have like children and they want cheese or you're making pizza or fun meals, I recommend Miyoko's, right? And the reason why I like them is because one, the ingredients list is like, it's like that. Like it's a very small ingredients list compared to something like Daya, where the cheese list ingredients is like this thick, you know? Um, I don't recommend having a lot of ingredients in anything that we eat. So Miyoko's is like, I think it's nut based. So it's like coconut, water, salt. Um, there are some I think it's like a gum in there. There is a gum in there. But it's not like a whole bunch of extra stuff. Okay. So I like them because they have minimal ingredients. I can read them all. Um, and it's pretty safe for me. So if you have children and you are whole food plant based, or you're vegan and you want to make pizza or cheese on tacos, I recommend Nyokos. It's the only one I use. I use their butter as well. They are on the pricey side, just a little bit on the pricey side. You know, so be prepared for that. That's another way to stay in the moderation. It's because they're not cheap. But a lot of healthier things that are on the processed side aren't the cheapest. Okay. So if you're on the processed food wagon, because I'm talking about the processed food today, the healthier versions aren't the cheapest. All right. So put that out there. I'm just going to put that out there. Have I tried BioLife? I don't think I have. Because I don't do a lot of cheese. The one brand I have tried is the Whole Foods version. Whole Foods, like for a slice to go on a sandwich or something. Whole Foods has a Gouda, like a 365 Gouda. I enjoy that. But again, like personally, I only buy plant-based cheeses like once every 2 months or something like that. So, and that's saying a lot because, like everybody is going to say they're from whatever city, they're from wherever state. I'm from Philadelphia. So we put cheese on pretzels, cheese on fries, cheese on steaks, cheese on hoagies. I'm pretty sure if you're from, Chicago or New York, you got cheese on pizza and cheese on everything, so I've really learned how to like wean myself off of the cheese, and people will always say, well, I tried, especially if you're in the transition to going plant-based. If you're in a transition to going vegan and you're still like, all right, sometimes I want a little cheese on my something or a little cheese, I recommend that you try, a processed food type of cheese, because it'll kind of help you, you know what I mean? But don't try one and then just like, oh, I tried it and it wasn't good. Like I tried vegan cheese. No, you guys named a lot of brands: BioLife, Mikoyo's, Daya, 365 brand. There's so many brands. I always like to say, we women on here, we done tried some Outre, we done tried some Sensational, we done tried some African Pride, we done tried all this different hair stuff. Follow your heart. We done tried so many different types of hair, so many polishes and OPI. We try and we try and we try. But when it comes to like finding a healthier solution, you can't just try one thing one time and be like, that's it, I'm done. Like vegan cheese is not it. You know what I mean? Like we be trying everything else. So go ahead and get yourself a couple tries. Get a couple tries of different kinds of things. Like when I first transitioned to going vegan, the cheeses was not popping like they are right now. I'm just saying. The cheeses were not out on the shelves like they are today. When I transitioned, it was maybe like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and I wanted macaroni and cheese. All right. So in my coaching program, I talk more in depth about when, you can kind of have some things and when you can't have some things. And I am accepting clients that really want to transform their eating habits. Okay. That link will be in my bio to schedule a consultation. But when I went vegan the week before Thanksgiving, I was like, how am I going to make my macaroni and cheese? All right. And like I said, the vegan cheese was not popping like it is right now. So what I did was I looked up a recipe, and I'm going to share this with you guys. So if you have nut allergies, this is the kind of cheese you want to use. Back in the day, vegans made cheese out of cashews. We still do. Cashews, carrots, potatoes. Okay. I think the first cheese sauce I made was out of carrots and potatoes. No lie. Now, when you put this into the blender and you blend it up and you add your seasons and your spices and your nutritional yeast, which makes the cheese flavor, I was like, all right, this is not bad. It doesn't necessarily taste like cheese, but it's giving you the illusion of some cheesiness. Yes, noosh, nutritional yeast. There you go, Misty. It gives you the idea that I'm eating some cheese. Okay. So that's how we started. Then as time went on and the supermarket started gaining more traction with um the vegan cheeses more started coming out. I started wanting to, get back to like my roots, right? Like when I was a kid, I used to have to chop up the cheeses with my hand, and mom used to put them, and we had to go through it and stir it all up and stuff with the blocks of cheese. Now they have vegan block cheeses, like farm. I think they're called farm something cheeses, but you can actually cut up blocks of cheese to make something like a baked macaroni and cheese. There's cheese slices. Okay. If you're on the alkaline side, anybody in here alkaline? Some hearts if you guys are alkaline. On the alkaline side of things, and you want a cheese, you can make cheese out of Brazilian nuts. Brazilian nuts. Okay. You soak your nuts, you add your spices. Okay. Add your spices. Again, does this taste like regular cheese? No, but you have to get the idea of what cow's cheese tastes like out of your head. Like you got to stop. Just stop thinking that it's going to taste like regular cheese. But now we've got cheeses on the market that mimic and pull and stretch and burn like brown. We've got cheeses that do all kinds of stuff. So, okay, so you can make a cheese out of carrots, onions, nutritional yeast, potatoes, or cauliflower. That carrot, man, when you put that in the blender, it just turns it like orange. Like, oh my gosh, this looks like cheese. You can also do like when I make my cheeses for like my tacos, like a sauce, I use cashews, I use a little bit of garlic, I use lemon, squeeze a lemon. I use some bell peppers, like red bell peppers, for a little bit of sweetness. Um, Onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of nutritional yeast, and make sure you soak your cashews and you blend it up. Baby, it's good. Like it tastes like a cheese sauce to me. Okay, it tastes like a cheese sauce to me. Um, what else can you do? Yeah, those are kind of like how you make your cheesy sauces. We usually make our cheese sauce out of cashews. Okay, you guys got any questions about vegan cheeses or what cheese should go on what my recommendation is? I recently tried the nutritional yeast in my Alfredo sauce. It was good. Yes, yes. Nutritional yeast is good. Again, you don't want to overdo anything, but it's a great source of B12, right? And it does give things a little cheesy taste. When I make Alfredo sauce, I kind of make it out of I use cauliflower, and you can use like coconut milk to give it like some richness, and you can use the nutritional yeast. Because the thing I missed with Alfredo sauce was the richness, and I know the only way I can get that richness is with coconut milk. The unsweetened, of course, unsweetened coconut milk. Cow's cheese seems addictive. Not even that it seems addictive. Cow milk, goat milk, cheeses, breast milk from animal cheeses are addictive. They are addictive. They have something called casein, right? Casein is a protein, like a milk protein. And when that chemical releases in our body, it sends the same kind of addiction as like cocaine. Like you get the same kind of function, brain triggers and stimuli as like a drug, like cocaine. Okay. So it's not that it's completely your fault that you can't get off of cheese. It's the ingredients inside of it. So it's not that it seems addictive, it is addictive. Hey, different results. I like that name. But yeah, so yeah, cow cheese, cow milk. And I have put that, I did a reel earlier. Make sure you go and you like that reel. Um, Someone said, well, what about goat cheese? And what about um like blue cheese or feta cheese or something like that? And I was like, oh, let me mention all animal milk cheeses, right? And when you go plant-based, you really got to think about, and when you ditch the cow's milk cheeses and the animal milk cheeses, you really got to think about the benefits. Like, okay, it's not all about taste, right? It's like I'm not going to be jacking up my hormones because cow, SCC, hey CC, because cow milk, I always say cow because I'm just used to talking about cow's milk, but animal based cheeses come from a mammary gland of an animal. It comes from a breast of an animal, which is super hormonal, right? I think I said this a billion times. Women only produce breast milk when they have had given birth, when they've had a baby, right? So that means the hormones, like in women, our hormones are up, are moving around. We got a lot of estrogen going around. That makes us produce breast milk, for example. I don't know if exactly estrogen, might be a couple other hormones as well. But animals are the same way. They're only giving us their breast milk, which should be going to baby cows, but it's going to us. Just imagine how much pumping that is. There's a lot of pumping, but it's very hormonal. It disrupts our hormones. Drinking breast milk from an animal, all right? And then we wonder why we've got breast cancer issues and why we got hormonal imbalances and why we got PCOS and why there's testicular cancer and why there's all these hormonal imbalances in our body because we're drinking hormones from animals, like period. Okay. So, think about the benefits as you're switching over to plant-based cheese. So if you come to me and you say, I don't like vegan cheeses because they don't taste the same. They like plastic or whatever you want to say about them. You really need to think about, well, why am I trying to find a cheese that I can tolerate? Because I don't want to have hormonal issues. I don't want to disrupt my body, with hormones. I don't want to be pumping milk from cows that should be going to their babies. Like instead, like leave that cow's milk for babies and not us. You know what I mean? Oh man, the dairy industry is so crucial. Like it's cruel. It's cruel, right? Because it's like, you know, oof, it's really cruel. Really, really cruel. Like I'll dabble into it a little bit. I know it turns people off, but I really don't care. So you know that in order for cows to produce milk, like they had to have been pregnant. So it's not like cows are maybe over here just reproducing like bunny rabbits. It's like they're forcefully impregnated, like forcefully impregnated. And then when the baby comes out, they take the cow away from the mother, right? Like imagine carrying a child and then they take your baby away. And now you're left with all this milk. And now it's like the babies can't use the milk. We need this milk to create cheese, right? And then it's like, not only am I just going to pump, I'm just going to keep on pumping. Like, I'm just going to keep pumping and keep pumping and keep pumping until, I don't know, you die or something like that. Like, we're just going to keep impregnating you and keep pumping. Like, that's a horrible life. Okay. A horrible, horrible life. Like, and I hate when people do this, but I kind of understand. I was watching this documentary, and I'm gonna get back to the point in a second, but I was watching a documentary on Netflix. I think it was called The Underground Railroad. And the woman, she gave birth to a stillborn and she had milk. So she had to then breastfeed other babies. And like that is kind of traumatizing to think about. But anyway, you could ponder on that a little bit. All right. Is vegan cheese bad for you, or do you prefer stay away from it? I don't like using words like bad or good, right? I rather use words like, is it healthy or is it unhealthy? Is it a good choice or is it okay choice or is there a better choice? Vegan cheese, the processed cheese, there are better choices. There are better choices. Like I said, try to find one that has minimal ingredients, where you can actually read the ingredients. Don't always lead with taste, right? Don't always lead with chemicals. So if you see a bunch of chemicals or a bunch of things you can't read inside of the ingredients, you want to stay away from that one. You can always go for the option of making your own. Um, Alexa, Alex, that's you, Lexi B. I see. I'm like, Lexi. Who's Lexi? I'm on YouTube. That's Alex. Hey girl. Maybe I should be calling you Lexi all this time. But anyway, you can find plant-based cheeses that have minimal ingredients and you can always opt to make your own, right? Like I buy cashews at Costco and I just make my own cheesy sauce and it lasts me for about a week and then I make some more the next week. And it's cool, right? It's easy. Okay? You do want to stay away from so many chemicals. All right? So, any other questions about vegan cheeses? Good old vegan cheeses. And to be honest, I don't buy a lot of I don't talk very well about a lot of processed foods at all. Like I'm mostly anti processed foods, okay? And when I say I'm anti processed foods, it's like I don't buy them inside, like I don't bring them into the house. Like let's say unless here go my exceptions. If it's Christmas or Thanksgiving or 4th of July, and you're like, I want to go to the cookout. And I know my whole family's going to be there, and everybody's going to be eating sausages and they're going to be eating burgers. And it's the cookout, it's the reunion, it's the family reunion, it's the wedding reception cookout or whatever it is. That's when I'm like, all right, go ahead and bring yourself some popular vegan foods, processed and all. You know what I mean? Because that's not something that happens every day. That's not a Saturday. It's not am I getting notifications? It's not a Saturday. It's like an occasion. So special occasions, go ahead and, you know, get your vegan cheese on, get your Beyond Impossibles on. My problem comes when people start depending on Beyond Impossibles and diet cheeses for everyday meals. Because now you're just kind of getting back into the same rut that you were in before. Okay? Eating a bunch of processed foods. And processed foods are just disaster. I don't care how plant-based they say they are. Processed foods are disastrous to your health. All right. Someone says, I love making sauce using cashews. It helps satisfy my creamy craving. Yes. Cashews, you can use Brazil nuts. Sometimes like when I want a creamy type of sauce, I use cauliflower. Surprisingly, it makes things creamy. You can use some cashews and some cauliflower if you're making like an Alfredo sauce, just to kind of lean up on the fats from the nuts. Okay. Or if you even have a nut allergy, you can use use cauliflower. What do you enjoy with your sauces? So, like if I make a cashew cheesy sauce, it's usually going to go on top of my tacos. It might go on some pasta for sure. It will go on some pasta, like a chickpea pasta or lentil pasta. Um, or if I'm making like a Buddha bowl or something like that, I just add a little bit of sauce on top, something like that. So yeah. And then I wanted to talk about, I was going to talk about healthy carbohydrates, but I think I'm just going to talk about oatmeal real quick because I want to be here all day. We're going to talk about oatmeal and why I'm not the biggest fan of oatmeal. All right, I know oatmeal is like healthy. There are a lot of things that people feel like, oh, it's healthy, I can eat it. Like oatmeal, avocado is another one. Um, Flaxseed and chia seeds and nuts and things like that. Like they are healthy. They are healthy. But as Americans and Canadians, we tend to overdo things a lot, right? Like we tend to overeat. We tend to overeat and we don't measure, right? We don't measure our food and we don't necessarily have to, but you know, when sometimes you just kind of pour and you just kind of keep pouring. So, oatmeal. So he says, I'm eating oatmeal to gain weight. Cool. You know, the reason why I'm not a fan of oatmeal is because there are better carbs, right? There are better carbs that have more minerals, carbs that got more iron, more magnesium, more protein, more fiber. There are better carbohydrates out there. That's why I'm not a big fan of oatmeal. Um, and my clients, you know, I talk to them about this all the time. I'm like, try different alkaline carbohydrates, right? Like instead of eating oatmeal for breakfast, try quinoa. It's less processed, more fiber, more iron, more minerals, right? When your body needs minerals, your body needs, you know, minerals and vitamins. Um, give it a try, right? And then sometimes when people like oatmeal, they'll go into the Quaker oats, the peaches and cream, and the maple brown sugar. I was there. I was a maple brown sugar and the peaches and cream. But those have like, those are way worse. They cause more harm than good. Okay. The only oatmeal that is actually giving you some benefits is like a whole oat, not the 1 minute type of oatmeal. I'm talking about like the oatmeal that takes 10 minutes, the quicker oats that you got to sit on the stove for a while. That's the best kind if you're doing oatmeal. But I'm not a big fan of oatmeal. There are just better options out there. You know, try teff, try quinoa, try amaranth, try couscous if you want. You know, just try something different. I didn't know that about oats. Yeah, that's just my opinion. You know, as a coach, you know, oatmeal it's all right, but there are so many other ancient grains out there that will do you so much more benefits in your health than oatmeal, right? Find something that has more minerals. Find an carbohydrate that's a little melanated, right? Like I'm not a real big fan of non-melanated foods, okay? Because it almost gets into the, you know, the white bread, the white sugar, white flour, even though oats are a complex carbohydrate and you know it does slow release, slow burn, which is good for you. But if you just think of a bigger picture, like what else do I need? I need zinc, I need iron, I need magnesium, I need all these things. And you can find that whole and complete in something like quinoa instead of oatmeal. All right. Let's try amaranth. It was different. Amaranth is something like if I'm looking for like a grits substitute, because you know grits made out of corn and I don't necessarily want to be doing corn all like that, use amaranth for that. Like amaranth, you can do a lot with amaranth. All right. And you can go to like Whole Foods if you have one in your area. They have like those little tiny packs like this big, and they're like $1.99 or maybe $3.99 for like a small package. You don't have to, you know, buy a big box of anything, but just give them a try. The alkaline grains, the ancient grains, things like that. Hey, Caitlin on YouTube. Make sure you guys are following me on my YouTube channel. Um, it's Pretty Pump Fitness because I'm gonna start doing more things on my YouTube channel, and looking for ways to like repurpose content. Like I go live every week on Instagram. I might as well go live on Facebook as well now that I know how to do it. So thank you to Lexi and Caitlin that are on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys. So yeah, you guys got any other questions about plant-based cheeses or vegan substitutes for anything? Pretty Pumped Fitness. Pretty Pumped with an ED Fitness. You're welcome, guys. Thank you for coming in and chatting with me. Sprouts, our bulk bins aren't open yet. We're still in the COVID era where there's no like handles for nothing. So it's like, you know. But yeah. So you guys, make sure if you need to, I'm open for consultations. The link is in my bio. Consultations are $20 because when you talk to me, you're going to get something. Okay. So schedule a consultation. I have the detox. I do a 3-day detox kit. It's on sale right now. I think it's 30% off. So check that link out in my bio or just go to prettypumpedfitness.com. My detox kits are on sale. It's 3 days. You get like a bunch of teas and instructions and ingredients and herbs, handmade. What else? And private coaching is available. So if you are suffering with fibroids or endometriosis or PCOS, or just need to lose weight, or you just want to get in shape, schedule a consultation and we can talk about private coaching. Okay. So you guys have a really great night. Thank you so much. Thank you for liking my reels and having this great conversation. Good night. And good night, guys.